So I would like to start off by delving a little deeper into this curious case of Kanhaiya Kumar. As you would all know, Kanhaiya Kumar is contesting the Lok Sabha elections from the hallowed communist bastion of Begusarai in Bihar. Now, I'm not sure if many of you know this, but there was this political controversy in Bihar when the Mahagathbandhan actually snubbed the left in their seat sharing equation. So, which is kind of strange because the Mahagathbandhan in Bihar would actually have done well to bring on the left with their whole social justice and social transformation kind of politics. But sadly, that wasn't the case. But at an ideological level, this kind of makes sense. I mean, the left should never be a part of the Mahagathbandhan, which comprises parties like the RJD and many others who have historically played the caste card and have gained votes. I mean, this has been going on for decades. It's kind of silly, but it's still kind of relevant even today in Bihar. So the left should ideally never align themselves from a purely philosophical, ideological standpoint. They cannot, because the left is all about social amalgamation, abolishing caste traditions in India. And basically, in a nutshell, the communist ideology is all about equity, right? And if you delve a little deeper, it's equity of outcome. Anyway, that's a different story. So I'm actually glad to see the left back in the fray, especially when you look at the mind share in media, right? I'm glad to see the left narrative back. I mean, it's good to have some color in the political scene in India. So anyway, so where was I? So Kanhaiya Kumar contesting from Begusarai. Begusarai is this communist bastion historically, and he's been in the news, man. He has been in the news. A lot of people have been messaging me, asking me, "Hey, why don't you just talk a little bit more about Kanhaiya Kumar?" And if you actually go on Twitter, it's crazy out there because Kanhaiya Kumar is actually being supported in his campaigns by the likes of Swara Bhaskar, and there are shadow supports being shown by the likes of Dhruv Rati and other influential people in the online space, right? So, what is the deal with Kanhaiya Kumar suddenly standing up for elections? I mean, the kind of attention that has been given to the cult of personality that is Kanhaiya Kumar is quite frankly a little disingenuous if you look at, again, the core philosophy of the Communist Party. If you look at the Communist Party in general in India, their philosophy and ideology always takes precedence over individuals, right? I mean, that is the core thought behind that particular ideology, that the individual does not take precedence. It is always a group identity that takes over. And if you have to have an equity of outcome, you cannot have outliers in the system. I mean, the whole ideology just crashes. But it's interesting to note that in Begusarai this time, the Communist Party of India is kind of beleaguered. I mean, the relationships with the people in Bihar itself is quite fractured now. And it is ironic that a party that believes in group identity and they do not champion individuals per se, they're actually pushing forward the personality of Kanhaiya Kumar as this grand face of communism. It's disingenuous in my opinion, but hey man, you know what? It brings a lot of color to the scene right now, and this particular build-up to this election has been boring, if you ask me. And I'm glad to see Kanhaiya Kumar standing up for his rights and standing up for whatever he believes in. I mean, he does in many ways represent what are core democratic liberal principles, right? And he's a young dude. I mean, I'm glad to see someone who I can relate to actually standing for election. So I wish him all the best, and all his supporters all the best. But yeah, man, I mean, he's not a communist. I mean, the way the election has been championed in Bihar, it's a mini version of what the Modi campaign was in 2014. I mean, there really are no differences, especially when an election campaign actually relies on the cult of personality and not on the policies or the ideology championed by the party. So anyway, those are my thoughts for today. Until next time, see ya.